Live from the O'Hara Construction Studio in downtown Jackson, it's the Bart Hawley Show. I'm David Rice, inviting you to join Bart and his guests. From Jackson Public Schools and Sharp Park Academy, Principal Jasper Lusby. Mike Shore visits the cast at Wharton Centers, Chicago. From Community Hearing Center, audiologist Dr. Kelly Bogue. From Jackson Historic Prison Tours, tour guides Steve Rudolph and Jim Guerrero. And Andy visits Chick-fil-A on opening day. And now, here's Bart.
Thank you very much, David. Good afternoon. Welcome. Nice to have you with us today on a chilly Thursday afternoon. It is only 35 degrees right now. Temperature really has not risen much since this morning, and it probably won't rise much this afternoon. And with increasing winds, it feels colder than 35. It feels 28 right now. Still a chance of rain this afternoon. High of 42. Tonight, 29 for our overnight low with cloudy skies. And each day over the next 4 days, things improve. Friday, we'll see more sun and a high of 49. Saturday, sunny, 55 for Palm Sunday. Partly sunny, high 60, and Monday, sunny with a high of 66, but there's a chance of rain on Monday. But unfortunately, next week we will get back to the upper 40s, low 50s for daytime highs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But the outlook for Easter is pretty good. And there you have it, today's weather, brought to you by Kelly Express. Savings on your favorite snack items. You know, Kelly Express, they great employer. They take awesome care of their team. They have great prices. They always look out for you with snacks, food, beverages, gas, and they're convenient. There's one near you. Kelly Express has a great special on pizza this month. Two-item pizzas for $25 at Kelly Express. A quick look outside shows us clouds continue to hang over Jackson, but at least for now the rain has stopped, and radar shows there's really nothing more that should be affecting us for the next 2 or 3 days.
Looks like the snow melted too.
Yeah. There's still a little snow on the Symphony building.
Yeah, but the grass looks nice and green.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time last year, we had daffodils and flowering trees in full bloom, so we're behind. But up north, the fruit growers are happy that we've had a pretty tough winter, because that is good for the fruit trees. Today is the 10th of April. We're a third of the way through the month, and we are celebrating the American Society for the Prevention to Cruelty to Animals Day, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Day. Every day should be that, but we're celebrating today because it was on this day in 1866 that organization was founded. It is Encourage a Young Writer Day, Golfers Day, National Farm Animals Day, and Siblings Day. And I salute my siblings. And there we are when we visited Washington a couple of weeks ago. My sister Becky and Marcy and brother Matt. Great to see all of them as we toured the nation's capital. Today, we look back on what has happened in our history. It's Golfers Day. It's the start of the Masters, and 50 years ago today, it was the first opening round of the Masters in 1975, and 41-year-old Lee Elder became the first black golfer to play in the Masters Masters held on to some traditions, bad traditions, longer than many other golf courses. It was years after Lee Elder played that they admitted their first black member. And, you know, caddies typically play with their pro and they go from tournament to tournament. Well, for many years, the caddies, you had to use a caddy at the Masters, and every one of the caddies was black. And that was a long overdue tradition that ended when, I think it was in the early 80s. It was years later, 22 years later, that Tiger Woods became the first black golfer to capture the green jacket. Lee Elder passed away in 2021 at the age of 87. Jack Nicklaus said golf has truly lost a hero. On this day in 1925, F. Scott Fitzgerald's third novel, The Great Gatsby, was published, and people hated it. It barely sold any copies in the first few weeks, and it wasn't until F. Scott Fitzgerald's death that the book took off. And on this day, in 1953, the first ever 3D color horror movie opened in New York at the Paramount Theater. It was The House of Wax, starring Vincent Price. And it used 3D, you had to wear the special glasses. And doesn't this sell the movie? Beauty and terror meet in your seat. That's going to get you to the show.
I'm there.
Yes. Yeah, right at you. The kiss is on your lips. Yeah. The hand is at your throat. It's a movie you'll want to be at. The House of Wax. We should show it.
Can we do that?
No, I don't think so. On now today in the J, we have got Knockout Parkinson's event, which is starting in a few minutes at the Summit branch of the Jackson YMCA. Tonight, History of the Jackson Symphony Orchestra at 6 p.m. This sounds like a fun event to go to. It's happening at the Carnegie branch of the Jackson District Library, and JDL's historian Nathaniel Arntz will guide you through the inspiring story of how the JSO grew from a talented and resilient Jackson community into the thriving symphony that it is. 75 years of the JSO tonight. And then Matt Aubin, the music director, will be there to give a little bit of a inside look at the 75th Diamond Celebration Classical Concert. That's tonight. It's free, 6 o'clock at the Carnegie branch. And the PBA Champions World Tour Tournament Championship continues today at Jack's 60. They're chopping down the players. They are now down to, by the end of today, they'll be at the top 16, and then they go into match play on Friday, and then the championship rounds on Saturday and Sunday, and then the final round. And I bet that's just the two top people, and that will be telecast on Fox, I think around noon on Sunday, and it's at Jack 60, and I think you can go. And we've got Jesus Christ Superstar final weekend at the Michigan Theater Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Puffs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Jackson College. And a few other things happening in and around town, so check it out. That's Today in the J, brought to you by Experience Jackson. Our show today, saluting our sponsor of the day, Kelly Express. Oh, we were just talking about Kelly Express.
Yeah.
One of the things about Kelly Express is what they do for the community. They are very community oriented and provide a lot of support to community events like, well, one thing is the Hot Air Jubilee. Without Kelly Express, there would be no Hot Air Jubilee. Kelly Express, Hammond Hardware, and Hammond Propane all provide tons of support to that event and so much more all throughout the year. Thank you, Kelly Express. Thanks for partnering with JTV for so many years. We are very appreciative. Well, today the City of Jackson wants to remind residents that they can run for office. Isn't that something you've always wanted to do? No? Well, if you live in either wards, any of these wards, wards 1, 3, and 5, elections for Jackson City Council seats are taking place this year. The deadline to file paperwork to qualify for the August primary election is Tuesday, April 22nd at 4 p.m. Now, I'm not sure if all of the incumbents of those 3 wards will be seeking re-election, except I do know one is, and she told me this morning, Arlene Robinson plans on running for re-election to retain the Ward 1 seat. The next mayoral election is next year, and then the next election for council seats for wards 2, 4, and 6 happen in 2028. Thanks to Tri-County Water for providing us some water in the County National Bank Green Room today and every day. Oh, and speaking of the Green Room, let's see who's standing by. It's our first guest, and it is going to be Jasper Lusby. She is the principal at Sharp Park Academy. Also today, we're headed up to East Lansing. Mike Shore meets and greets the cast of Chicago, which is now running at the Wharton Center. Dr. Kelly Bogue, audiologist, will be with us from Community Hearing Center. The partnership that runs Jackson Historic Prison Tours, Steve Rudolph and Jim Guerrero, will be here. And Andy visits Chick-fil-A's grand opening the other day. We relive that. This and more today on JTV. Nice to have you here. And we get started right after this.